Anyways, listen. Right here, Geo says, shout out Sam. He says, can you discuss the crowns referred to in the Bible and why they should be important to believers? I heard about a bit about this on Spanish Live, but I want to make certain I'm understanding the complete message. So he wants to know about the crowns of the Bible. Now, this is something that I don't have off of the top of my head. So I'm going to go to a resource that I trust. Listen, check this out. This is how I do it. If you are on YouTube, you're going to see how I do this. I'm going to go to Google. Then I'm going to do crowns of the Bible. Right? Crowns of the Bible. Look at this. I already went to this website. It's called gotquestions.org. If you have questions, yo, this is the place. I trust the majority of what they say because I'm thorough in the word, like, and I trust what they say. Not that I agree with everything, but so this is a good resource. So the first one is called The Crown of Life. Yes, it's a website, gotquestions.org. It says, The Crown of Life, Revelation 2:10. Do not fear any of those which you are about to suffer. Indeed, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison that you may be tested, and you will have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful until death, and I will give you the crown of life. This is one of the crowns of our reward. I'm not going to go through all of this because this is an entire study that we should go through. The crown of glory, the crown of righteousness, and the imperishable crown. These are different rewards that God is going to give us. Now, whether they are actually literally crowns, I doubt that. I know that you're expecting more of an answer. So I actually want to tell you, I know this is different, but I want to share a vision that God gave to me before I moved to San Diego. It was so crazy. Like, you know, when God gives you a vision, excuse me. You know, when God gives you a vision and it like defines a very large part of your relationship with God and the things that you go through in life, that was this type of vision. It was like a life-altering vision. Hopefully I can explain this well. I wanted to make a separate video of this describing it, and I don't think I've ever shared this, so I might do that. I was preaching in Indiana. It was 2020. I think it was July. July 2020. I was preaching out there, right? And God gives me this vision. And in this vision, I see diamond mines, like holes that are like 6 foot wide, 6 foot deep. And in each hole, I have an aerial view of this like mine, of this coal mine. Sorry. It's not a coal mine because it's not like you were going in. It was just, imagine a flat land with holes as far as the eye can see. And I see all the holes. And then I see this one guy. All of them are filled with men and women. And they're using like tools to excavate and gather the resources, which were these black ores, this coal. And he shows me this one hole. And in the hole, there's this man covered black, like pitch black, dark, with just the earth all over him, right? And this man is like instead of using his tools, he's just like using his hands, bro. And he's like going crazy, taking as many coals as he can. Then I see the manager of the mine come, and he stands over the pit where this guy is. And this was a vision. Dream, vision is the same thing, guys. Vision is just when you have it awake. So the manager of the mine comes to the guy and was like, the king is calling you. He requests an audience. The guy has a satchel that's filled with these black ores, these pieces of coal. And they walk throughout the whole mine and get to the palace. Dude is covered in like, again, the dust or whatever. Before he enters the doors of the courts of the king, another worker comes and requests the bag that he had. He leaves. Then the king says, you may come forward. And the guy comes, they clean him up, right? And the identity of the man was revealed. When the man moves forward, the king extends his scepter towards the man, allowing him to take a couple steps more towards the king's throne. And the king tells the man, not the man, he calls the servant that took the man's bag, right? So the servant comes back with a pillow and a crown, the most beautiful crown I have ever seen in my life. It had every type of jewel that you could imagine. You know the jewels that's explained in the book of Revelation? Like that. And I'm looking at this crown and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That crown looks wild. I've never seen something like that, right? Not the same thing. We differ. God bless. No, God bless you. Sorry if I came out wrong. For me, it's the same thing. Vision is when you're awake and dream is when you're sleeping. So the pillow, he gets the crown. And then the man asks the king, what is this? And the king tells the man, you didn't realize that all the coals that you've been excavating from the ground, they were no coals at all. But they were the jewels by which you were creating your own crown that was to be your reward. And the sentiment that I got was like, yo, this man had no idea. He was just so passionate and so desired to fulfill and go above and beyond his quota for the king. And when he received his crown, he dropped to the floor and wept before the king. And when he wept, the king made another command. And when he made the command, yo, a throne that was like the throne that the king was sitting on came in and flew in with angels' wings. Like, I'm talking about like 10-foot angel wings came flying through the courts of the king, scooped the man up, and then flew him over the mine again. And this man has the crown in his hand. He's not even putting like it on his head, and he's so ecstatic, and he's flying over the mine, and he didn't even realize that there was so many holes. And he's asking the king, I don't know how, but they were communicating from the throne to him being in the sky, right? And he's like, what is this? And he's like, this is the kingdom of God, and these are my children doing the work for me. And what they don't realize is that every single thing that they have ever done in their lives, they are constructing the reward that I will one day give them. And I was like, okay, it made sense, right? The guy is holding the crown and he's looking at it as he's floating and being taken on a tour of the whole mine. And the king tells the man, take the crown off of your head, break it into pieces, and throw it back down to the people below. And the man was like, what? Like, he finally realized that what he was doing wasn't worthless. It finally clicked in him for the first time in his life. And he was hesitant. And he was like, this is the reward that I finally have. You want me to give it back? Like, you want me to break it and throw it? And he said, yes, trust me. Trust me that what I have for you is better. The man, hesitant, he breaks the crown in pieces, and he starts throwing the pieces from his throne in the sky. And as the pieces are falling to the ground, they convert back to rock and black coal, and they take their place in the earth for the other workers to excavate for their own reward. No sooner than he released the jewels in his crown did the crown reformulate on his head. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So he's throwing the pieces of the crown, and as soon as he's letting them go, they're returning to a crown that's formulating greater than what he broke in the first place. And then boom, the vision ends, right? And when I woke up, remember I said that the identity of the man was revealed. And I didn't know it in the dream, But when I woke up, I'm like, Father, who was that man? And God told me that that man was me. And I was like, yo, like, I don't know if that sounds boastful. I hope it doesn't come across that way, but I feel like that oftentimes, and maybe you feel like that working for the Lord. It's like, yo, you're trying to excavate black coal and all you receive is coal in your stocking. And it's like, you're trying to give it everything that you have, and what you receive in return, you feel like, man, I don't know, I'm just trying to please the Lord with everything that I do. But God sees your effort, and that which you have is no coal at all. It's the very diamonds that will reflect the crown of glory that God is to give you in the age to come. So hopefully, I know I didn't answer the question. I gave you something in return. So hopefully that makes sense. I pray that that dream blesses somebody so that you may know that your efforts are not in vain. God is going to bless your diligence. Why? Because, beloved, what does Galatians 6:7-9 say? God is not mocked. What a man sows, so shall he reap. So shall he reap.